So my brain is not yet at the point asking me to take a break because I get that comfort while riding this motorcycle. Hi, hello REVSOUL here. Welcome you all guys to a new video. Today I just brought the Suzuki V-Strom SX250, the one brilliant touring capable motorcycle available in the 250cc category. So without spending any time, let's just dive into the video, starting with the paint scheme. The bike has got a glossy black and a beautiful vibrant yellow color for the Suzuki V-Strom 250. And starting with the front, the first thing we'll be noticing will be those beautiful big. Suzuki gave this motorcycle to just complete the DNA of the touring capable motorcycle. And we also get a mid-tall visor for the Suzuki V-Strom 250, which can give us a wind protection up to like 110 kilometers per hour. And we also get halogen indicators instead for the LED ones. And looking at the headlights, we get the same LED headlights as that of the Gixxer 150. And we can also find the same tail lights that we did find in the Gixxer 150, that beautiful looking tail lights for this Suzuki V-Strom 250 also. And we can also find the brilliantly built grab rail plus top box setup on this motorcycle. So let's get on the bike and feel the seat height. The bike has got a seat height of like 835 millimeter. It's a bit taller bike. I'm a 5'8" guy. I have a complete planted foot at this situation because the ground is not that flat. I can have planted foot, and if the bike was sitting on a flat ground area, I wouldn't be able to flat foot on both sides. But because the bike is a bit taller, it wouldn't be a great issue because the weight is only like 165 kg, so it's so easy to move around the parking lot too. And looking at the handlebar switches, the switches are pretty basic. This is for pass button, the dim and bright button, the indicators, the horn. In the right side, the kill switch and the ignition, completely basic switches. And looking at the meter console, it's also pretty basic too. We get the LCD meter console with the time, fuel indication, tachometer, speedometer, gear position indicator. Down here we get the odometer and the selection button to go to trip A meter, the trip B meter, and the voltage. That's it, completely basic on the meter console too. And looking at the keys, we get a pretty decent keys on this Suzuki V-Strom 250. A better looking key than the TVS scooters key. And the side we also get the charging port compatibility too with the Type A charging system. And now let's talk about the pretty beautiful thing on this motorcycle, the engine. The bike has got a single cylinder 249cc oil cooled engine for this beautiful Suzuki V-Strom 250. Just like the design of this bike, I completely love the engine too, because the engine is so smooth, refined, and also run with very minimal vibrations. And talking about the power figures, this engine can produce like 26.5 bhp and 22.2 Nm of torque. And looking on the clutch side, we don't get that lighter clutch as that of the Honda, but a much more tighter clutch. And I had a small fatigue while I was running on dead traffic for like 30 minutes straight. But surprisingly, the engine was not heating up even though the bike had the oil cooling only technology. And looking on the braking side, we get a 300mm disc rotors in the front side with the Y-brake calipers, the 2-piston calipers in the front side. We get a much more progressive braking on the front. And talking about the rear side, we get a 220mm disc rotors again with the Y-brake calipers. In the rear side, we get the single piston calipers. Talking about the overall braking, I love the braking, not that great as the KTM Adventure 250, because we get a much sharper braking on the Adventure KTM 250. Unlike that, we get much more of progressive braking on this bike. And looking on the tires, we get the MRF tires, dual purpose tires on the front side with the 100 section, and the rear side we get 140 section tires. And the tire quality was pretty decent. The tire grip was pretty decent on both corners and high speeds too. No drawbacks with the tire grip and all. And we also get the 19-inch alloy wheels in the front side and the 17-inch alloy wheels in the rear side. And we can also find that aluminum metal bash plate, which can give a better protection while taking this bike to a small off-roads too. And now let's go for a short ride. Before that, let's also just hear the exhaust note. That's it. Now let's go for a short ride. And finally we have reached the highways. So let's see how the V-Strom 250 performs. And that's what the V-Strom 250 can do at even at high wind blast. If the wind blast was much more lower, it could have gained at speeds of like 130-140 kilometers per hour, and it's a great top speed for 250cc motorcycle. And if we start talking about the vibrations, the motorcycle have vibration, what very minimal, just on the foot pegs, no dirty vibrations on the handlebars or levers. So it's so much relaxing while riding with those minimal vibrations. And since this is a perfect tourer, the suspensions also works perfectly. Since we get the softer overall suspension setup, it does absorb much of the potholes on irregularities on the roads, giving us a much more comfortable ride. The seats are not that plushy, but still I have got the comfort to continue my ride for like 2 to 3 hours. My brain is not yet at the point asking me to take a break, because I get that comfort while riding this motorcycle. Looking at the ergonomic side, we get the wider handlebars, straight on foot pegs, and the comfortable seats, giving us that perfect touring capability. I mean, the perfect touring ergonomics for a motorcycle. And just look at the cornering too. Even though this has got the dual purpose tires, the cornering capability of this motorcycle is insane. Now let's talk about the pricing of this beautiful machine. Right now it costs about like 1,98,000 ex showroom price for this kind of an insane motorcycle with those touring capabilities. Comparing with the competitors, we are missing some of the details like the TFT meter console, USD forks, the quick shifter, and the auto blipper. But apart from those things, we get a beautiful, refined, completely enjoyable engine for this motorcycle with this beautiful ergonomics, so that we can ride it for like hours without even taking a break. Talking about the fuel efficiency, this motorcycle can give us a fuel efficiency of like 35 kilometers per liter, which is a great numbers for a 250cc motorcycle. And the braking is also good for this motorcycle. Nothing bad about the progressive braking. Instead of saying, I'll just show you the braking of this motorcycle. Just a second. Okay, let's try the braking right here. Just the brakes. Just the front brakes can put a stop to this motorcycle this quick. And I don't think this is kind of a bad braking for a 250cc motorcycle. Just the front brakes works perfectly. So adding the engine braking and the rear brakes could make this bike stop much more quicker than you guys even expect. And yes guys, that's it for the review of the Suzuki V-Strom 250. I completely love this motorcycle in every single way. The handling, the braking, the engine, absolutely I love the engine. So that's it for the review of the Suzuki V-Strom 250. I think I have shown you much of the details, and if still I have forgot any details, feel free to comment. I will completely cover that details too. We'll catch up in the next video. Until then, bye bye.